Okay, in today's video about ICP, I'm going to talk about a bullish pattern in the midterm that has been forming in here for quite some time, and I do believe it's actually a valid pattern, and it might cause ICP to have at least another 300% move on the upside. However, I am actually having a very important problem with it, and the problem is not what you really think. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we talk about what is happening in terms of classic patterns in this area, let me tell you why I am so bullish in internet computer. You see, in the long term in ICP, starting from the highest side in here around $500 down to the lowest low about $2, we are having most likely a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure on the downside with all the subwaves, which suggests that some sort of a bottom is going to be in on internet computers chart. Now, is this the only bullish reason? No. You see, if you want to argue in terms of Elliott waves, we're gonna have our final bottom somewhere around here. Maybe this is like a very important support. Then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. The rules for it are we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave, and for subwaves, as you can see, we must have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, and for wave 2 and 4, for our corrections, we can have different possibilities, doesn't really matter. Let's say ABC into wave 2 and a WXY into wave 4. Understood? Okay, let's go now on the live chart and see what is happening. So what do we have off of the lowest low? A very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up with all the subwaves, and followed by that to about the lowest low in here around $6. We are having a WXY, a correction structure, which I think it might be in form of a flattened zigzag, and on a higher degree. In terms of Elliott waves, we are dealing with an insanely bullish setup, suggesting that this is a 1, this is a 2, and the next move, well, it's gonna be a big one on the upside into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And in some lower time frames, for example H4, you can actually identify the subwaves for this orange wave 3. You see, I believe this is a 1, this is a 2, and at the moment we are on our way to complete the subwaves for a wave 3 and 4 and 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into this larger degree wave 3 right in here, and then we're gonna have correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. So this is the main reason for me, at least, for why I am so bullish in internet computer. Now let's talk about the bullish pattern that we are having in here in the midterm, and it's going to be a cup and a handle. The idea is that you are having a move down, and then you're gonna see some sort of a solid bounce back, and followed by that a pullback, something like this, which this whole thing at that point is going to shape a cup and a handle. Now, this pattern will get confirmed when we get a break of the next line right in here. There we go. And in terms of the targets, I'm seeing recently that some people saying that the target for this pattern is going to be the height of the handle, but that is not true. If you see something like this going up and reaching to maybe about here, and then after it a solid move on the downside, this thing wasn't actually the right cup and handle. No, the real target for this pattern is going to be the height of the cup. This is a very important point. Now let's go maybe on a less busy chart in order to see the structures maybe a bit better. Let's go on Binance's one. There we go. Let's zoom out a bit more. What do we have? This is a very visible cup, and this could actually be our handle. And this whole pattern will get confirmed when we get a break of the next line right in here, which is going to be somewhere around, let's say, the $20 region. Now, in terms of the targets, first, we need to put the chart on a regular scale. There we go. Let's zoom in more and measure the height of the cup starting from here to about the highest height. There we go. And we need to put this thing at our supposedly breaking point around here. There we go. As you can see, the target for this pattern is going to be somewhere around $40, which from the current point, that can be about, let's say, like a 200 to 300% move on the upside. So this pattern is actually a valid one, and it can definitely cause ICP to have another huge move on the upside. However, I'm having a problem with it. You see, a cup and a handle, after confirming and reaching to around its target, doesn't really have a whole lot to offer you anymore. In other words, what's gonna happen after we reach to somewhere around here if you just want to go according to classic patterns? You're not gonna have a solid idea of what might be next. That's why I use Elliot waves and I pay maybe not a whole lot of attentions to classic patterns. Now, in terms of Elliot waves, this is the main point that I'm trying to make in this video. We said this is starting from the lowest slope around $2, a 1 and a 2S structure, and I fully believe that we are going to get a huge move up in Internet Computer into wave 3 and 4 and 5, and this is the main point. This cup and a handle suggests that we're going to go to somewhere around $40, and what's going to happen after it, according to classic patterns, we really do not have a solid idea. However, in terms of Elliott waves, I would argue that just into this wave 3, we are going to reach to more than $50, and then we're going to have correction for another move up into wave 5, and overall, I think $50 is not really a good target for ICP. We are going to go much more higher than that, and I think you will be surprised by the price of Internet Computers token at the end of this cycle. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. In Internet Computer, in terms of classic patterns, we are having a cup and a handle, which is a valid pattern, but you need to pay attention to this. First, this pattern is not at the moment confirmed yet. We need to get first a solid break of the neckline and then do something like this, pull back and a continuation of the move up in order to take this high. And at that point, we can say, fair enough, this is actually going to work. And in terms of the target, well, this pattern suggests that we're going to go and reach to somewhere around, I think it was $40. And what's the problem with this thing? This is not, in my opinion, bullish enough. In terms of Elliott waves, I believe we are starting a huge wave 3, which in it, we are going to reach to, I would say, quite a bit more higher than $50. And then it's going to be time to have a corrective movement into our wave 4. And followed by that, this can be our blow off top into wave 5. And I fully believe that these waves are going to happen in this cycle if we are going to have a solid alt season, which I am kind of convinced that we are going to have it. So is this cup and handle a bullish pattern, a valid one? Absolutely. But my problem is this is not bullish enough. And I think we're going to go much higher than $50. And finally, in terms of the short-term price action, you need to remember this. Let's go back on our original chart. There we go. You see, in terms of class CTA, we are having a very important resistance area in this region. And as you can see, it is between $15 to about $16. Now, here's a very important point. In my opinion, when we get a break of this region, we can actually expect at least another 20 to 25% move on the upside in order to reach to somewhere around the neckline of the cup and a handle pattern. And hopefully at that point, we are also going to break this important region and continue our uptrend at quite a bit of a rapid pace. So in the short term, in Internet Computer, I need you to have your eyes on this very important level right in here. Get a break of this thing. The road on the upside is going to be a bit more clear than before. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ICP's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.